really difficult for me to read because then I'll have to like watch, like look at the picture and then read and then try to like grasp the
That's
picture.
part of the beauty of it. Like, I was like going through this, I mean, reading articles. I mean, I do that when I'm bored at night, and like 2 a.m. in the morning, it's like I'm doing that. And I was reading this article about how graphic novels actually contain 40% more vocabulary than conventional novels.
Oh,
Yeah, apparently.
that's a
Who
really
knew?
interesting thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
You think it's the opposite because graphic novels are pretty short.
No, I mean, like, that's actually a preconceived belief that graphic novels are for kids, but it's not really. Like, if to actually, like, if you want to prove me wrong or if you want to prove me right also, it's like, just go and read these titles and then you'll be like, okay, this wasn't for kids.
Yeah,
like-
it's pretty dark stuff.
Yeah. For instance, I remember there's this arc, Batman Hush. It's actually an arc, and it's pretty awesome. It's actually really cool. It's a thriller, a mystery thriller. Those who dig that should read it. It's quite gripping, keep you on the edge, and you're like wondering, who is this guy? Who is this guy who is like getting the best of none other than Batman?
Oh.
It's like there's somebody who can actually out Batman the Batman. You would say that, and then the twist and everything. And a pretty recent take was by Scott Snyder, if I remember correctly, Court of the Owls. A lot of friends that I know who are also avid comic book readers, they were also like, dude, this is so awesome. And I was like, you're knowing this now.
I've known this like for a whole long time, right?
And I'm like, I told you, like, read this.
Welcome to Between the Lines. This is the show where we talk about books and discuss all different types of books. So with me today we have Rehan.
Hi. Which one do I say hi to? You?
Yes,
Okay,
you say hi
hi.
to me.
So, where do we start?
Let's start with what's the book you're currently reading?
Currently I'm reading. Well, it's Deeply Odd.
Deeply Odd.
Yeah, by Dean Koontz. Well, do I talk about it?
Yeah, I would like to know. Another guest has also mentioned this book, so I'm really intrigued by this author now.
Ah, yeah. So the thing is, actually for me, I got this book as a birthday gift, and I actually realized that, hey, I'm actually not even starting from the beginning.
This is like a middle book.
It's a middle book, and I was like, sheesh. So,
What's the book about?
It's actually about a dude in his early 20s. His name is Odd Thomas.
That's
Yeah.
an odd name. Wait, his first name is Odd.
Odd Thomas. Pretty odd, right?
That Thomas is a first name. No, well, he's odd.
It's odd, and in this book, he comes across this really interesting character during the first half. I mean, like, I haven't really finished it yet. I started reading it. He comes across this old lady, Edie Fisher. I love her. Like, she's in her 80s and everything, and how she's sarcastic, cynical about the world. She's really a complex character you want to know more about. And then there's Odd. She calls him Oddie. Doesn't get any odd than that. And he can actually, you can call it like the sixth sense or intuition. He could actually see, like, it's a premonition or something like that. He could see if somebody is gonna kill someone. Like, he sees someone, and then he'll have these visions of premonitions and whatnot, where he would see visions of that person killing with the gory details and everything.
Wow.
So he has this gift of actually catching murders. How cool is that?
That is very cool.
Like, not so cool on me. But
you brought the book.
But for Odd, it seems like he's having the time of his life. Well, kinda like, I mean, when the story starts, also he's somewhat on the run from Malibu. I mean, he had done some stuff, and I need to go read the first book, seriously.
I think the first book is called Art Thomas,
Yeah,
right? Because
the name, yeah. And this one is deeply odd. It's actually...
I like the covers. It's just this guy standing.
And
I
I
think the
kind
first
of
book
was
also
like...
had the same cover.
Yeah.
The similar cover.
Funny thing is, like, when I saw the cover, I kind of immediately, like, pictured a movie, a Hollywood movie inside my head, and I have the perfect actor to be cast, like, inside my head. I don't know if the producers would ever make it, but if they do, please cast Dylan O'Brien. I think you know him, yes. I mean,
yeah.
He fits it.
I mean, I haven't read that, so I don't know, but he
kind of...
probably would be really good.
Yeah, he really fits the character. I mean, like, whenever I'm reading this, I'm actually seeing him doing all that. It's like totally him. And then whenever the Edie Fisher's character comes, I don't know, for some reason I see a slightly aged Helen Mirren. I mean, she is old, but still she's got the sass. So slightly aged. I couldn't really think about any other actress who is like 87, because Fisher is somewhere around her 80s. And to tell more would be to spoil a thriller.
Let's not do that.
Let's not do that, because I might get butchered if I do that.
But talking about how we sometimes imagine certain people in our head while we're reading the book, I like how with Harry Potter, when the first book came out, the movie wasn't out. I mean, when I first read it, also the movie wasn't out. And I had this very random people in my head. But then after the movie was out, you could not get the main characters out because they fit so perfectly.
Kato.
Feel the color.
Well, I bought a book I read, and after reading it, the movie came. One, I'm unable to. I think, I mean, like, sometimes my memory does actually.
I mean, we've read so many books, it's bound to happen.
Yeah, I think that would be the Fault in Our Stars, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, I read it.
Everyone has read it.
Everyone read it, yes. I mean, those who say they don't secretly would be wishing, okay, I need to read this. So, when I was actually reading the book, I kind of imagined, I mean, like, I think Shailene Woodley was cast in it, right?
She's cast in it.
And Ansel Elgort. But when I was reading the book, I actually imagined, what's her name? Saoirse Ronan? Saoirse Ronan?
Yes.
I don't know how that
I think
name.
it's called Saoirse.
Really?
Yeah, it's pronounced Saoirse.
Okay, I'm gonna give up now on how to pronounce these people's names.
This happens with authors' names as well. Sometimes you start an author's name and it's like really simple, and then the last name is totally
completely.
You just don't even say it.
For years, I kept pronouncing Guillermo del Toro's name like Guillermo, and I remember it was a friend of mine who pointed it out to me. It's like, oh, dude, it's Guillermo. And I was like, my whole life up to this point has been a lie.
Yeah, and then even with Harry Potter, I think the same thing happened with Hermione, which is why J.K. Rowling did put the pronunciation inside the book, so you would know.
Yeah.
Which is a really clever
thing.
Yeah.
Her name is Hermione, right?
Yeah.
I swear to God, I kept calling her Hermione.
And recently, J.K. Rowling said that Voldemort was pronounced Voldemort. I mean, we've been pronouncing the dark
Okay, I blame her on this. She waited this long to actually tell it to us.
Yeah.
So I blame her. I'm like, she should have put that. It's like, he's Voldemort.
Well, maybe because there's gonna be a Voldemort's origin story coming out, so maybe we're gonna know a little bit more about that.
I saw some trailers of it, yeah.
There were. That's very cool.
Let's see how he lost his nose.
Yes, so do you read other kinds of books other than fiction, not fiction, thrillers and sci-fi?
Oh yeah, sci-fi would be one, fantasy, yes. Well, superhero would be the other, but superhero is, as a friend pointed out, not really a genre.
That's not, yes.
But let's just say action, thriller, fantasy, those things. And like I said before, I'm more of a graphic novel reader than these conventional paperbacks. But I do read every now and then if somebody actually recommends me a good one. I mean, if I do go to novelty, asking me to leave that place would be a very difficult thing, because I'm like going through one book after the other, and I did actually come across several books that I want to like buy from there, but so far I've been too lazy to do that.
So what action book would you recommend?
I would actually recommend I would recommend Robert Ludlum's series.
That's
The Bones.
Oh, yes. I've actually read the trilogy. There are 3 books, right?
Yeah, there are more now. More out. It's like, it's thriller, of course, but there's like a lot of action involved in it.
Yes.
So it's an espionage. It's quite cool how he put the world around. And there's like, I want to see more, mostly in illustration or as a book. I think you are also aware of it. John Wick, Keanu Reeves stars in it.
Yes.
I want to see a more complex story being told. I mean, like as a story, as a written novel or something like that on that, because the underworld, how it's described in it, and how they communicate, like they use gold coins for transaction, and they have a cleaner crew. Like, how did this cleaner crew came to be? Like, you kill a guy in your own residence and you just ring them up and they come and tip their fedora off and like, done within 15 minutes.
Oh.
Spotless. So I was like really intrigued by the whole thing, and I was like, I need a graphic novel out of this. So yeah, I kind of like tend to go for that. Apart from that, I don't know. I mean, like, sometimes it's because of the tight schedule and job and that sometimes I feel like I am really disappointed in myself.
Because you are not reading as much as you want to.
Yeah.
Same. I set a goal to read like 52 books, so that would be like a book a week, because that at like January me thought that was a doable thing.
I should put that on the New Year's resolution and see how I fail so miserably by the end of it.
Yes, I've only so far read I think 14 books, which is like alright, but still it's half the year now, so.
Hey, you still have time.
True.
Yeah, so like you can still catch
Maybe
up.
I can read a bunch of kids' books, and then like each book so.
You didn't specify on yourself what kind of books, right? So yeah, you can catch up and like at the end of the day, hey, I read 52 books. Yay, shaha!
Yeah, but turns out it's just children's books.
You didn't specify. I'm gonna put that on.
Okay. So what other book would you talk about?
Oh well, there's actually a non-fiction one. It's called The American Sniper. I think a lot of people would have seen the movie.
There's a movie, yeah.
Bradley Cooper's.
Yes.
So
this is a movie cover.
Movie cover, yeah. It's actually the real-life account of the sniper, who's actually deemed as regarded as one of the deadliest in U.S. history, and his name is Chris Kyle. He was titled as Shaitan al-Ramadi, apparently, meaning the devil of Ramadi. Yeah, he apparently shot and killed a guy from, I don't know, I think it was 2,100 miles or something. That's far.
That is far.
And to actually kill somebody
from that distance, yeah.
So
really
the story, it's actually revolved around he's a soldier who's been like enlisted into the army, and like right after the 9/11, he sets out. I think it's Afghan, yeah. So it's a tragedy. Actually, it's a tragical story because his first kills was a woman and a child.
Oh.
Yeah. That left a mark on him, a really deep one, because he set out to kill terrorists, and his first kill was a woman and a child. Apparently, they were running at this platoon with a anti-tank grenade. So, in order to avoid a bloodbath, he shot them. Yeah, he had to take that decision. I mean, I'm not defending anyone over here, but he at least had the audacity to put that in the book. And it actually talks about his life, how like going on tours kind of put how that actually resulted in his family life. I mean, deteriorating everything, relationships, how he grew distant with his family, and all those things. It's actually pretty cool, and there are some inaccuracies in the movie, so better read the book.
This has the movie cover, so what do you think about books that later get the movie cover once the movie is released? Because I'm pretty sure the book would actually have the real... It would have another cover, right?
Yeah.
But then when the movie gets released, it gets put in the movie cover.
And then, like, once the movie is out, you cannot really go back to thinking, how was the original cover like?
That's true.
For instance, like, Born Ultimatum, this is one example I could put. I saw the cover before the movie, and then I saw the cover after the movie, and I was like, okay, which should I choose? What should I choose? What should I choose? I was trained in there at the National Library thinking, which one should I choose? The one that had Matt Damon?
Or the one without him?
Yeah, and then I ended up going with Matt Damon.
Of course.
because he's just Mohan.
Damon.
I mean, he's practically playing the guy. I'm not practically. He is. So you kind of imagine whenever you're reading the story, whenever Jason Bourne, that name pops up, you're like, ah, Matt Damon. Yeah, totally him. So here, whenever the name Chris or Kyle or that popped up, I was like, I know he is not Bradley Cooper, but why is my mind imagining Bradley Cooper?
Yeah.
Mainly because I watched the movie before the book.
Mm-hmm. So, thrillers and autobiographies, are there any other books that you would recommend?
I would recommend 3 graphic novels which I deem as the best that I have read. That would be Watchmen and V for Vendetta and Killing Joke. These 3 are actually rated as the highest, I mean like top rated graphic novels of all time. And all 3 were written by the same person, Alan Moore.
Ah.
And
I am very, very new to the world of graphic novels, so I know like next to nothing about it.
For me, like whenever a friend asks me, hey, who's your favorite author? And I'm like, Alan Moore. Alan who? Alan Moore. I was like, who? What did he write? Watchmen. V for Vendetta. I was like, oh yeah, that's a nice movie. I loved it. Like,
everyone knows about the movie.
The movie,
That's
yeah.
true.
Nobody knows who wrote it. I mean, like, when it comes to writers, I kind of have a tendency of like, maybe because I read more graphic novels, and like people like Frank Miller, Grant Morrison, Jonathan Hickman, Scott Snyder, Alan Moore, of course, these and Neil Gaiman.
Ah, yes.
And these people are like the ones that I'd pick before Stephen King or J.K. Rowling.
I really enjoy Neil Gaiman's writing.
Yeah, he's awesome.
That's very cool.
I don't know whether he writes conventional and then makes it into graphic novel.
He does have a couple of conventional books, so
yeah,
I'm not entirely sure. But then he does screenplays, and I remember I was watching Doctor Who, and then I saw that one of the episodes had Neil Gaiman, and I was like, wait, I have heard of this guy. And then I checked, and then I watched Stardust before that, so
Okay,
I really enjoyed the movie. And his writing is, I would say it's like hauntingly beautiful.
Yeah, I think I would put that as well. I mean, he has a way of telling the story, and it's actually really, it captivates you. You're like, I mean, when I was reading the actually, it's over there, American Gods.
American Gods. Have you watched the
Would I miss it? I mean, that's
so
good. I know, it's awesome. It's
and then the cinematography.
brilliant.
Kato.
books, or have you thought of maybe writing? Since you do write, I have to ask this question.
Oh yeah, I do. Are you like basing that because you see those?
I do see a lot of your writings and I enjoy them.
Oh, okay. Oh. Are you sure those are not those lengthy statuses that you come across? Because I've been like, I receive a lot of complaints from
your statuses.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of like have decided to put it short. I do have a page which you might have come across. Mm-hmm. And about your question, yes, I have been writing a novel in the works of it, and almost done. And all this time I haven't really talked about it. So I thought like this would be the best place. I mean, I'm sitting surrounded by books.
There's no other place.
Yeah, I mean, like if I go over to a funeral and say, hey guys, I'm about to release a book, everybody would throw stones at me. So yeah, best place here. So
what's the book about? Can we know that?
It's a funny story, you know. I mean, like I have read almost all kinds of books except for romance.
Except for romance.
Well, I do read. I mean, not as frequent as the other kinds, but I have read a bit of Nicholas Sparks. Yes.
Everyone's dabbled in the Sparks a little bit.
Yes, of course. And there's this one book that I read. I forgot the one who wrote it, but it's a really good book. Eat, Pray, Love.
Ah, Elizabeth. Thinks Gilbert.
I think, I'm not so sure. Yeah, Eat, Pray, Love is a good book. And I did read Me Before You, Jojo Moyes.
Jojo Moyes, yes.
And
I think we're sidetracking. We're talking about your book, or maybe you're doing this on purpose.
Well, there would be like, those who would be watching this would be questioning if this guy hasn't really read a single romantic book, how is he going to actually bring one?
Oh, you're writing a romance book. That's interesting.
Well, there's a twist to it. If I tell that now, then
don't.
Yeah,
let's just keep it.
But I could I mean, I could drop a little bit of tease. It's not going to be just romance.
Okay.
There would be, how do I say?
Something else to it.
Either it's science fiction or fantasy. I'm gonna leave it up to the people who would be reading it. Yeah, I've been working, and it's actually, that one has been like, I did hit a writer's block, but lucky for me it was just a month long, not a decade long. Thank God. It's done actually 90%.
When are you planning to?
Initially I had like hoped of releasing it on November, but I kind of want to release it. Now, it's not that, but it's not because I wouldn't be able to. It's almost done. It's done actually, so I can actually push for a November release. But I kind of want to release on December. It's like that's the year end point. Everybody would be free, so by the time it's out, it'll be like they would be like heading off or almost heading off to vacation. I can take it. So it was a bit of a marketing strategy.
Yes.
You would call that right? Yes. Like so if things goes well, then yeah, hopefully this December they can expect to see a book of mine.
That seems really cool.
I'm not gonna tell the name.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Well, good luck for that. That seems like a very noble cause, writing a book.
Yeah, I mean like, more like I was too bored and thought I've been writing, so maybe I should like
compile them into a book.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, all this time I've been writing on social media, and now that I'm actually a journalist and a writer, I do write on the site, but it's just that, right? So I don't have a book to my name. I need to have a book to my name, and maybe like gift it to mom and say, hey, finally, I've done it. Like, look, my name. And then like, I did tell her once. I think I was in grade 8. I was like, you just watch.
I'm gonna write a book.
I'm gonna write a book.
This has been really nice. Thank you so much for...
No, I think I should be the one saying thank you for actually giving me the opportunity to come and talk about books, and apparently telling a lot of people about the realm of graphic novels.
Yes, which is nice. I don't think anyone's ever talked about graphic novels here, so that's really great.
Yeah, people should read it more. Come on, guys.
Yeah, so here's a little gift from Kia's online books.
Why are you like planning on this? Because this is like
romance.
Romance. It's like, are you like secretly like, are you a mind reader?
It just happens.
No, I was like,
there are no coincidences. You're a writer, you would say that.
Yeah, there are no coincidences. Yes,
everything is planned.
Exactly. I mean, like the minute I dropped the whole topic about me actually planning a romantic novel, I get too romantic. This is like more material for me to experiment on, like go through it and see things that I can improve before I put it to release. There's still like 10% remaining. So.
Yeah, so thank you so much. This has been really, really fun. And good luck for your writing.
Yes.
I hope you don't get into another writing block.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Probably would be releasing it by December, hopefully.
Yeah, and we'll be looking forward to that.
I think you will be the first to know.
Yeah, I better be.